Bentonville High School was rocked yet again with a bomb threat this past Tuesday. I caught up with students and administration to find out how they feel about these false reports. Bentonville High School has received constant media attention after several false terroristic threats.
Culture has shifted to where we cannot take anything for granted. The students have made some really poor decisions.
The student responsible for Tuesday's threat was arrested and charged with terroristic threatening, a Type D felony. District spokeswoman Mary Lay is frustrated with these pranksters and wants students to know their actions have lasting consequences.
We have to take and get the message out that these are serious consequences to the decisions that some of these students have been making.
Jerwan Edwards and many of his fellow classmates are growing tired of all this.
I think it's kind of immature. Like, you're doing it like just to get out of school, and it's kind of dumb.
People are kind of like just going to do it just to do it, I guess, and so you don't really know which one to take real and take not.
It's when they don't really realize that this is a serious matter. It's terroristic.
The Bentonville Police and FBI Task Force are writing new rules and safety policies to ensure students' safety. Lay says despite the bad publicity, she's confident the school is a safe place.
Every once in a while, when you have 4,200 students, you've got to remember that 4,199 did the right thing. And unfortunately, we're all paying deeply for the one who didn't do the right thing.
While there's no way to know if a threat is false or not, Bentonville officials are doing everything possible to keep the school safe. With spring break beginning tomorrow afternoon, college students are flocking south for warmer weather. While it's important to have fun, it's also more important to be safe while you're doing it, especially when you're partying with alcohol. Now, according to a University of Wisconsin study, nearly 75% of college males and 43% of females reported being intoxicated on a daily basis during spring break. Many students are unaccustomed to drinking in hot climates, and the rules for drinking change with that. Some can maximize the effects of alcohol, so keep this in mind if you party on the beach. Take it slow and stay hydrated by drinking lots of water. If you start feeling faint or lightheaded, get shade and water immediately. Be aware of alcohol poisoning in situations like this. It's especially dangerous to drink and swim. The ocean, lake, and even hot tub could turn easily life-threatening when under the influence. It's best to steer clear.
And I've seen a lot of people drink on the beach heavily, especially around summertime and spring break, and it can be extremely dangerous because you get dehydrated, especially when you are drinking a little bit too much and not counting your drinks, and it leads to unfortunate events.
Now, it's also important to always stay with your group. Never let alcohol lead you into a bad decision like drinking and driving. The women's swim team and I just competed at the SEC Swimming and Diving Championships at the University of Georgia. I caught up with the team today to see what's next for them.
Go Hogs, go! Go Hogs, go! Go Hogs, go! Go Hogs, go!
The Arkansas Razorback swim team is back training after a successful record-breaking conference meet.
Like overall, everybody did really, really well. We had best swims for both groups, distance and sprint, and I'm really proud of how everybody performed.
The Razorbacks recorded 40 personal best times and broke 9 team records at the SEC Championships in Athens, Georgia last week. The team placed 6th out of 12 teams, tying their highest ranking in school history. Junior Susanna White had a record-breaking meet.
I had a very good week. I was really excited about it. I had 3 best swims that also happened to be school records, so I was very lucky there.
The Razorbacks qualified 6 girls for the NCAA Championships next month. Those not attending nationals will jump back into hard training to prepare for the summer season. A small group of swimmers will also compete at the Last Chance meet this weekend.
I think I'm most looking forward to just see how the girls do. It's a big-time meet, the best meet in the entire country all year. See how we can stack up against some pretty stiff competition and see if we can reach the highest ranking that we ever have in school history.
A group of Razorbacks will depart tomorrow for a final shot at qualifying for nationals. I'm here on College Avenue, and while the lot behind me may not look like much now, it could be home to Fayetteville's first Whole Foods market. Plans emerged for the market this week, and the site shows an over 3,500 square foot building with roughly 330 parking spaces and loading areas. Company executives want to triple their reach across the country. The chain health and organic grocery store will add more competition to Fayetteville's own organic co-op, Ozark Natural Foods. Officials for the store released a statement saying, "We are excited to have another natural and organic food store here in Fayetteville. The more access that people have to healthy foods in our city, the better it is for our community." Fayetteville planning officials say the documents will be reviewed next week, and if approved, it will be the second Whole Foods market in Arkansas.
I just fell in love. I've always loved this mountain. And I thought in my lifetime, it would stay the same.
Frank Sharp has called Mount Kessler home most of his life. Years ago, he formed a group dedicated to protecting the mountain's natural beauty from commercial destruction. Now, he and the group hope to help the mountain once again.
And our motto was, as we grow, let's keep some country, because this area does grow, but that doesn't mean we have to just have sprawl and just decimate the woods.
For $300 million, Chambers Bank has agreed to sell more than 300 acres of land and will donate an additional 48 acres to the city of Fayetteville. The Walton Family Foundation has offered to pay half this price.
So we hope that the city will go ahead and dig up $1.6 million.
If the money is raised and the grant accepted, it will create a 600-acre park for outdoor recreation and will serve as an outdoor classroom for the U of A and local schools. It will provide watershed protection and will expand the woodland trails.
I've lived on this mountain all my life, and I just would hate to see it covered with McMansions.
Sharp hopes the expansion will attract cyclists and pedestrians throughout the region. With the scheduling of the final home men's basketball game and the arrival of Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, students figured they'd be in for a packed week. However, when they learned it was scheduled for the same time, their reaction wasn't too happy. The basketball game against Ole Miss was held at 7 p.m. in Bud Walton, while Secretary Rice spoke at the same time in Barnhill Arena. Students were forced to choose between the two. Many were frustrated at the poor planning on the university's part. The Distinguished Lecture Committee and University Relations are working together in hopes of avoiding such scheduling issues in the future.
I'm a senior and I really wanted to go to my last home basketball game, but I really admire Condoleezza Rice for everything she's accomplished being a woman in her career. So I decided in the end to go see her speak.
Despite the conflicting schedules, both events were in high attendance and students were ultimately happy with their choice. The NCAA Council wants to ensure all Division I student athletes will be well fed. The plan is for athletes of all sports, those on scholarship and walk-ons, to receive unlimited meal plans and snacks. Student athlete Lizzie Whitbeck is strongly in favor of the ruling.
Personally, I think it's great because as athletes, we do eat a little bit more than regular students, and a lot of the time with the scholarship that we do get, the extra money it's not enough for those extra groceries that we do need.
The decision comes less than 2 weeks after Connecticut player Shabazz Napier commented that he went to bed hungry. Student athletes were previously only awarded 3 meals a day. The change is being made so student athletes can meet all nutritional needs. This decision has been met with much criticism, particularly among the U of A campus.
Me and all my friends, we're all working just as hard and going to class, and they're not offering everyone unlimited meal plans, and so it just doesn't seem fair.
The NCAA is under attack on many levels, with the prime charge that student athletes bring in money for their universities that they never receive. Academic graduate assistant Terry Prentice feels the ruling will help Razorback players.
I think that student athletes are going to benefit from the unlimited meal plan, as well as being able to be fed as many times as possible, because student athletes have a higher caloric need than the regular student body. And I think if it means feeding student athletes 4 or 5 times a day instead of 3, go for it.
The NCAA announced 4 other modifications that will help student athletes, 2 of which regard CPR regulations and the penalty for positive street drug tests. A few weeks ago, I reported on Kessler Mountain and the advocacy group that's dedicated to preserving the mountain's natural beauty and purchasing more land. Well, the City of Fayetteville City Council just unanimously voted to purchase more property. The 320-acre property was originally intended to be a mixed-use development, but failed as a result of foreclosure. The land includes over 8 miles of hiking and mountain biking trails with great views of the city. The property is also next to the future Fayetteville Regional Park. The $3 million purchase was paid in half by the Walton Family Foundation, while the remaining amount will be paid using city reserves. Now, the council's vote signaled the end to a nearly 10-year campaign to promote awareness for the mountain. Reporting for UATV Live, I'm Shelby Cox. Back to you at the desk.